Hello, this is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 52, Leviticus chapter 20. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
Well, today it looks like we're going to complete Leviticus chapter 20.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a change from Leviticus chapter 19, which has some really good things in it.
So, this one not so much.
Yeah, in the last chapter we had one of the best verses in the Bible, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
The golden rule.
Exactly. This chapter is going to not have anything, maybe we should just get into it.
Okay. Verse 1. God said to Moses, "Whoever gives their children to Molech shall be killed. The people will stone him to death, because he has profaned my holy name." So who's this Molech guy?
Moloch is a god that the people that surrounded them in the land of Canaan worshipped. So kind of a competing god, I guess.
Oh, so God does not want... So how are they giving their children to him?
Well, the Bible says that the Molech required his followers to sacrifice their children to him. Yeah. And
so God, but didn't God also say, "Give me your firstborns"?
He did, and then he actually asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, Isaac.
Did.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, he didn't end up doing it, but still, it wasn't really very clear, to Abraham anyway, that it was something you shouldn't do. God's saying here, that God requires child sacrifice. Don't give him your children to sacrifice. If you do, the verse goes on to say, the people will stone him to death because he has profaned my holy name.
All right, so if you do sacrifice a kid to Molech,
right,
the people are going to stone you to death, and everybody has to stone him to death.
Yeah, the next verse says, I will cut off whoever refuses to stone him to death.
Okay, that's a serious thing. All those three, sacrificing children.
Yeah.
If you
do
that,
we have to stone you to death. Yeah.
I will cut off those who go a-whoring after familiar spirits and wizards. So, people who might know how to cure a boil or a sore that you have with plants.
I guess that might be a familiar spirit. I'm thinking witches and warlocks and maybe witch doctor type people. But it's hard to say. Familiar spirit is kind of a broad term. I don't know what that might mean.
Yeah.
But if you can figure that out, don't go a-whoring after them.
Okay.
Whoever curses his father and mother must be put to death.
Oh, that's serious for teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how anybody survives their childhood with a commandment like that. But there it is. If your children curse you, the Bible says to stone them to death.
And adulterers and adulteresses must be put to death. Okay, that is a serious consequence.
And if a man has sex with his father's wife, kill them both. Doesn't discuss whether that sex is consensual or not, but you have to kill them both.
All right, if a man has sex with his daughter-in-law, kill them both. Yeah, these are serious consequences.
Yeah. And the next one is one that is often still quoted today. If a man has sex with another man, kill them both. They have committed an abomination. Their blood shall be upon them.
So this is that one that has abomination attached to it.
It has abomination and it has a death penalty. So if a man has sex with another man, it's an abomination and they must be killed. Not many anti-gay fundamentalists will quote this verse. A few will, but most won't. There's a verse in Leviticus 18 a couple chapters ago that said homosexuality was an abomination. Here it says what the punishment is, and it's death.
Yeah.
It doesn't say how, whether you stone them to death or not, but their blood shall be upon them. So it sounds like a bloody death. Anyway, a very clear and horrible verse that is still sometimes referred to today.
So definitely the Bible doesn't support homosexuality.
Well, this verse certainly doesn't.
No. Cheapers.
And the next one is, I'll let you read this one.
All right. If a man has sex with his wife and her mother, burn to death all three.
Yeah.
Cheapers.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme. The penalty of burning people to death. You know, we argue sometimes about what type of capital punishment, not we, but society has struggled with.
Uh-huh.
Should we hang people? Should we have firing squads? Should we inject them?
Yeah.
Electric chair. How should we do it? Well, the Bible says, at least in this case, burn them to death. And burn all three. The man, his
woman,
wife, right? And her mother.
Yeah.
Seems like that would be kind of a rare occurrence, but if it happened, you know what to do. Burn them to death.
And it doesn't say really if it's consensual or
No.
not.
No.
Yeah, a burning death. Not great.
No.
If a man or woman has sex with an animal, kill them both. Oh my gosh, poor animal. That doesn't sound consensual.
And poor person. There's something seriously wrong with that person, but we don't need to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, strange thing. Their blood shall be upon them, it says.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go on.
Yeah, so now we already covered some of this previously, but now we're going to have some punishments attached. It's about people whose nakedness you shouldn't uncover.
And last time we did talk a little bit about uncovering someone's nakedness.
Yeah, I think that what the Bible is referring to here is have sex with.
Okay. And they didn't have a hard time saying have sex with in the previous
I didn't.
chapter. You didn't.
I changed the language there. I kept it here. So sometimes I'm inconsistent about that.
Okay. If a man takes his sister and sees her naked, and she sees him naked, it is a wicked thing. They shall be cut off. So when we say here, if a man takes his sister, he's taken her in a tent?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not just seeing naked here.
No.
But anyway, just to be careful, you don't want to see your sister naked or have her see you naked.
No, never. So they'll be exiled and they'll be sent out.
Right. And if a man has sex with a menstruating woman, he has discovered her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Both of them shall be cut off from their people.
That does seem strange.
It does. Who would know? Oh, you wouldn't.
Unless you went out and said, hey, I just had sex with my sister.
Yeah, it's kind of a private thing. You wouldn't think that anybody would know. But if people do know, and would it just be by hearsay? How would they know? You had sex with a menstruating woman. Now I've got to cut you off.
Because she has a little calendar outside her door that says, this is when I'm menstruating.
Right.
Don't have sex with your uncle's wife. So that would be his aunt. Don't have sex with your aunt.
Uh-huh.
That would uncover your uncle's nakedness. They shall die childless. Well, that is a weird punishment.
Very weird. So don't have sex with your uncle's wife, because that would uncover your uncle's nakedness.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
I had a hard time understanding that.
Yeah, it's an offense to your uncle if you have sex with his wife, because he belongs to her. And
she belongs to him.
She belongs to him, sorry.
Yes, of course. It would be a whole other world if he belonged to her.
Yeah, women don't own things. Anyway, they'll die childless, which is a...
birth control method.
I guess so. Yeah. Don't lie with your brother's wife. It's an unclean thing. They shall die childless.
Really? Them too?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a parent says, hey, my son died and left a wife and she's childless, so you need to have sex with her so that she can bear a child and his seed can go on.
Oh, yeah. No, that's required. You don't want to have sex with your brother's wife while your brother's still alive.
So this would say, don't lie with your brother's widow, if they meant that.
I guess so.
And that's not what they mean.
I guess not.
Okay, and the last verse in today's episode is, stone to death any witches or wizards. Their blood shall be upon them.
Yeah.
Stone to death witches or wizards. I mean, those are the people who are helpful. I mean, I guess they could be putting a bad curse on someone.
I don't know how helpful witches or wizards might be. I wouldn't think they'd be all that helpful. But What's interesting to me is that the punishment is stoning them to death, because you always think of witches being burned, with the Salem witch trials.
Yes.
Why didn't they stone them to death? I don't know which is worse. They're both horrible deaths.
Yeah, they are.
But anyway, that's the punishment. Just stone them to death. Yeah.
This could be a reason why they don't want people to know where they are, where they live, or what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They could be stoned to death.
Sure.
Or burned to death.
Yeah. And the thing is, this could just be total hearsay, right?
Yes.
I mean, how do you know if somebody's a witch unless you put them in a river and see if they float or sink or something?
Or you go to their house and it's dark and you think, oh, I feel a little creepy here. I'm going to go tell someone.
Yeah, they dress funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, okay, we got through that.
We did.
The worst chapter in Leviticus.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the bad ones. I don't know if it's the worst one.
Is there more coming up?
There's more coming up, and there's been some pretty horrible things already, too, hasn't there?
Yes.
Anyway, it's hard to, some of these, when it gets this awful, it's hard to put a rating on it.
Yeah, like X, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, hey, thanks for staying with us, folks, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.